Syria affirms that the report submitted by the United Nations Secretary General's representative for children in armed conflicts constitutes a blatant divergence from neutrality and credibility. Syrian military units continue to chase armed terrorist groups targeting terrorist dens in various areas. Support rallies for the Syrian army and its battle against terrorism continue across the country. Minister of Social Affairs stresses keenness on meeting the needs of displaced and affected families due to practices of armed terrorist groups. Good afternoon, this is News in English from the Syrian North Television in Damascus. Syria's permanent representative to the United Nations in Geneva, Faisal al-Hamwi, dismissed some of the paragraphs of the report submitted by the United Nations Secretary General's representative for children and armed conflict as a blatant divergence from neutrality and credibility. Delivering Syria's statement at the United Nations meeting of Children's Fund UNICEF on the International Humanitarian Initiative for Children Care, al-Hamwi affirmed that the Syrian government has closely cooperated with the UNICEF since the beginning of the crisis and facilitated its relief missions and humanitarian mandate. The Syrian representative also slammed the report for overlooking the grave violations against Syrian children in the camps in neighboring countries, most importantly, the attempts at recruiting them to fight in Syria by a number of Takfiri and terrorist organizations. Russian President Vladimir Putin discusses with his U.S. counterpart Barack Obama on phone the crisis in Syria, the situation in Ukraine, and Iran's nuclear program. The Kremlin official website said that Putin and Obama exchanged ideas on the process of implementing agreements on the elimination of chemical weapons in Syria, Iran's nuclear program, and the situation in Ukraine. It also added that the two presidents discussed talks for solving the crisis in Syria. Both sides affirmed that in light of Geneva talks, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and the United States Secretary of State John Kerry will have firm cooperation to move the solution of the crisis in Syria forwards. Earlier, Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Alexander Lukashevich stressed that Syria is fully committed to carry out its commitments on the elimination of chemical weapons. A unit of the Syrian armed forces destroyed a terrorist warehouse for ammunition and weapons and eliminated 15 terrorists in Tel Daw in Al Hula area, Homs countryside. The source said that another army unit destroyed terrorist hideouts, weapons warehouses, and 3 cars equipped with heavy machine guns, killing and wounding a number of terrorists in Kafr Laha. The source added that an army unit destroyed a number of cars with all the terrorists and weapons inside them in the villages of Abu Hawadid, Sharij, and Al-Abijarrah. Syrian army units continue to chase the armed terrorist groups in Al-Heja village in Dar'a countryside, killing and wounding scores of terrorists. Army units also repelled armed terrorist groups that tried to infiltrate from the Jordanian borders. A number of terrorists were killed during the operation. Residents across Syria poured into the streets, sending out a clear message of support for their army in face of terrorism that has plagued the country. An unshakable allegiance to the national firm principles. Citizens of Adwela, Damascus countryside, took to the streets in support of the national stances and the Syrian Arab Army which confronts terrorism. Hundreds of people from the towns of Hazrama in Douma countryside in Damascus, also countryside, took to the streets in condemnation of the acts of the armed terrorist groups, demanding the exit of all terrorists from the area. A massive popular gathering also took place in Sadab town in the countryside of Homs, during which the participants expressed their firm adherence to the national principles and unshakable support for the Syrian army in its operations against the armed terrorist groups. Social Affairs Minister Dr. Kinda Shamat stressed keenness on meeting the needs of displaced and affected families due to the practices of armed terrorist groups. Al-Shamat, who presided over a meeting to discuss the relief situation in Aleppo, indicated that unifying efforts and conducting a consensus of the displaced and affected families within 10 days is required. She called for sticking to the defined course of action, instructing an immediate provision of 10,000 boxes of canned food to Aleppo governorate, referring to the tight blockade that Aleppo has suffered by terrorists, hailing the steadfastness of its people in confrontation of terrorism. With this, we end our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region, and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, www.syriaonline.sy. Now to the latest in business and market news with Nariman Qassam, but after a short break.